everyone, how's it going? Dennis LD here. For my part, I'm pretty good. I've finished a few major assignments and projects for my uni stuff, and I'm ready to get right into the weekend pretty much, because I don't study on Fridays. Anyways, what better way to start a weekend other than, you know, with a nice beer? And today it's going to be an ale. In fact, this is famous Fuller's ESB Extra Special Bitter, the Champion Ale it's also called. It's one of the beers I've shown you in my preview from the beers I'm going to review in the near future. Anyway, and I'm not going to go into explaining, you know, the attributes of this style, which is it's an extra special bitter essentially, because somebody else did it, you know, better than I would probably. And if you click over here, you're going to see a nice latest video from Funky Monk 02, a nice beer reviewer who really knows what he's doing, you know. And he's recently done a video about an extra special bitter, in fact, and he explains a little bit of the style and, you know, what bitters are supposed to be like. And instead, I'm going to go refer to my Michael Jackson's book and read the description for this particular glue. Now, ESB, it's a Fuller's brand. Fuller's is you know, the Griffin Brewery in Chiswick in London, West London. Really, you know, well-known brewery. They make a few really, you know, acclaimed kind of beers. They make the London Porter. They also make the London Pride, which is a bitter. They also make a few lighter kind of ales and such. Most of the other types are not really available in my area. You know, they're not really exporting much of that. But nevertheless, it's a really good brewery. And everything they do, they pretty much achieve the goal. They follow the style, and everything they do is a good example of the style. So for this particular beer, this famous beer was launched as Winter Bitter in 1969 and renamed ESB Extra Special Bitter in 1971, when it became a year-round brew. For a short time, another brewery in England used the same term, but today in Britain, ESB is specifically a Fuller's brand name. Such as the renown of this beer in the United States, and many microbrewers there use the term ESB to denote a style indicating a strong bitter, fuller in color, maltier, fruity, and less hoppy than an IPA. So yeah, I guess you could draw a parallel to an IPA in this case. The original from Fuller's is malt accented, but with a robust balance of hop bitterness. Two flavors held together by honeyish esters from the house yeast. It's a world classic, and that's quite true actually. Michael Jackson, you know, he always knows what he's talking about. Anyways, for the glass, my latest acquisition, which is a McCausland and St. Ambrose pint glass, a Nordic pint glass. And this is a lovely kind of bottle. I actually like it a lot. I've seen in Jason's beer reviews and some other reviews from the States that in the States Fuller's is sold in those kind of smaller bottles. I'm not sure how big they are, maybe 12, 14 ounces, I don't know. But here we actually in Canada we get the real English kind of bottle. I believe this is half a litre. Oh, I've got to mention it's 5.9 alcohol by volume, so it's not that strong, but it's considered a strong ale. For an ale, it's, you know, it's quite strong, but let's say for a Belgian beer that wouldn't be quite strong. Anyways, I'm going to save the cap with the wine opener, you know, standard kind of thing I usually do. Get right into the beer. And today I'm going to attempt Jason's pouring method once again to the center of the glass. I'm going to try to hold it so you see pour. This is a real Imperial pint glass, so it'll pretty much fit the whole thing once the head's kind of circled. Right away I can see the ale is a kind of a copper kind of color. The carbonation is, you know, medium, not too much. It's quite transparent, so for an ale that's kind of, you know, logical. And the head's it's kind of fizzy and foamy. Again, pretty fitting for an ale. Yeah, it smells like a bitter. Also reminds you of an IPA kind of scent. So really fruity, kind of citrusy, and quite malty overall. And hold it to the light, yeah. This is sort of a kind of, you know, light mahogany, copper kind of color. Anyways, the head looks kind of good, 2 fingers, so, and up to this point it's not going to dissipate much further. So I'm going to go ahead and take a sip for my flavor test. I quite like this. This is my first time, I forgot to say. I did try a few other Fuller's brands, and everything I've tried from Fuller's is amazing. So is this one, actually. It's very fruity, kind of got lovely citrusy, maybe grapefruit flavor to it, just like you get in some IPAs, which I fell in love with last time I drank an IPA, pretty much. Also reminds you of just a standard kind of bitter, maybe of London Pride, which is, you know, a lighter version of this. And I quite like London Pride, and you know, this is supposed to be a winter kind of version, just like in Michael Jackson's book. It was said that it used to be just a winter speciality, but now they brew it all year around. Starts out really kind of crisp, fruity, and then the finish is bitter. But for me, I just love this kind of bitterness. I acquired this taste, I guess. Didn't quite like the bitter ales from the start, but now pretty much bitters are one of my favorite, you know, one of the top entries in my list, I guess. Overall, it's very, very drinkable. The mouthfeel is, I guess it's kind of a bit light-bodied and kind of medium-bodied. I'm enjoying this to the fullest extent. And the bitter finish doesn't linger up too long, so it's just enough, you know, bitterness that makes you, you know, want to take another sip. Anyways, I'm pretty much satisfied. This is my first time trying Fuller's ESB, but I like this a lot. You know, I can't say much more about it. It's a very good, you know, very good example of the style, and you know, probably it's better to go with something lighter than this in the summer. But right now it's the end of the winter, you know, getting to spring, which is slowly approaching anyway, and probably not the kind of beer you'd have a few, you know, pints in a row with you know, with friends in a pub or something. I guess you might as well go with a lighter version. But once again, it's a very, very enjoyable, very drinkable, quite fruity, enough malty, kind of biscuity malts in it, and yeah, it's just lovely. Overall, for the mark, I'm definitely giving this more than an 8. It's going to be one of my favorites, I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna, you know, hold on to that. Once I come back with the final thoughts, I'll let you know what grade I'm gonna give this beer. Cheers. Welcome back. What can I say? I fell in love with this thing, actually. It's going to be my favorite from now on, one of my favorites. And thank God it's actually widely available in my area. They sell this, as well as the London Porter and London Pride. What can I say? It's really drinkable. Kind of nice, kind of warmer as well. It's, you know, it's not that strong, but it has a nice kind of feel to it. I really like the biscuity maltiness, followed by a nice crisp, kind of hoppy finish. And you know, it doesn't. I guess it kind of warmed up a bit. At this point, it's a bit warmer than it used to be. But the flavor is still there. You know, it doesn't get. You don't feel the alcohol much more. And there's a bit of a lacing, actually, a bit of a head going on. So it's wonderful, nice kind of wonderful beer. I just love this beer from now on. It's pretty much a pinnacle of the style, and it's not just my words. It's actually acclaimed. And it's won a lot of prizes, actually. It says in the bottle. Yeah, a range of kind of prizes and gold medals for different competitions and festivals. Anyways, for the grade, I'm going to give Fuller's ESB Extra Special Bitter 8.6. Can't help it, just love this beer. Thanks for checking out. I'm going to come back with more great beers in the nearest future, I guess, quite soon. Cheers.